So we're here today to talk about the IoT and how it's transforming the retail industry. So as a general question, Aarthi, how do you think the IoT is transforming the retail sector?
I think it's happening in many different ways. When you look at transforming retail, it's everything from back of the store inventory and logistics, supply chain management, all the way to beacons, merchandising, showing the most relevant products to the users as they walk into the store. So I think there are so many different ways in which IoT is transforming retail. In many ways, you don't even realize it until you see things like the Amazon Dash button, which is transforming retail, but in a very unique, interesting way. So I think the number of ways in which it is transforming retail is kind of fascinating.
Help yourself, Mark.
IoT, I think, is a relevant term, but it's relatively new. I think things like RFID tagging have been around with retailers for quite some time, and it's moved to the next level in terms of efficiency. And I think with retailers driving towards a single view of stock and a single view of customer, the opportunities for improvement are becoming quite significant. And I think the new wave of IoT devices that will improve things for the consumer sort of engagement are around payment.
Okay. And within retail at the moment, there's a lot of talk about consumer first business. How do you structure your business to kind of enact a better customer experience? How do you think IoT kind of currently in the future is going to enable retailers to offer that next level kind of customer experience?
Well, I think a very good example would be just recently, Starbucks have upgraded their app, and not only can you use the app for payment, but you can pre-order your coffee. I think it's just located in the London area at the moment, but it's really about easing the journey for a consumer in the context of, getting rid of queues. So I think payment technologies, if I think back to the consumer frustration of going into a fast food outlet, typically it would take 30 seconds to serve a customer, but 2, 3, 4 minutes to pay via a credit card. And I think the evolution of being able to just go in and tap the chip on the reader and actually move through. So all of these elements will build up in terms of a significantly improved sort of consumer journey through retail.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think you see convenience from payment and not just in-store full stack payment solutions, but even things like Apple Pay that end user consumers can use, and you can check out, swipe, and get out of there. Even those are revolutionizing how easy it is to get into the store and get out quickly. And then you're seeing some stores, Nordstrom is a very good example, and they use pins, the most recent pins on Pinterest, to go look at new shopping trends. What are people actually pinning? And they update their in-store advertising for brands based on what's popular out there. So providing convenience in very interesting, unique ways. You want to know what's the latest, greatest that's happening in retail. You want to shop the clothes or shoes that other folks are interested in. And so these are interesting ways from which it's not just upsell and accessories and things like that, but also minimizing the time that you spend in store searching or paying or finding the best brands for you, but being able to make that a very seamless experience. Those, I think, are very interesting.
It's the importance of convenience for the shopper, in essence.
Right, exactly.
You mentioned Nordstrom, Aarthi. Any other kind of good retailer examples of kind of brands using IoT tech well currently, whether it's the US or Europe or Asia?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Walmart as another huge example where Walmart Labs focuses on big data and collecting contextualized data on customers. What are they shopping? What are the demands like? And they look at things all the way from books that are doing well, what kind of demand is it driving towards specific products, what movies and common cultural phenomenon that's happening right now, and how does it impact in-store experience, all the way to connecting inventory from back of the store to the retail, like which retail destinations have what kind of inventory and how many should they stock up too much or too little can impact and have adverse effects. And so finding the right balance of inventory, and that's super important. And I think Walmart's doing a really good job of that.
Mark, how about yourself? Any good examples from the
Yes,
retail?
to add to that, companies like Lululemon, who have taken sort of RFID tagging to that next level and being able to track their stock. So it's significantly enhanced their inventory management, not only driving costs down, but being able to replenish stores far more accurately so they can track stock in stores. And if you think about multi-channel as the driver over the next few years, customers want to be able to go into a store and either collect an item or be able to browse an item and then have it delivered. So the ability for them to be able to move stock between stores, not just between distribution centers and stores and customer homes, is going to be key. And that flexibility comes at a price. So being able to completely optimize and know which is the cheapest element in terms of bringing an item, shipped from store, shipped from warehouse, will be quite key. Retail, I think somebody once said to me, retail is very simple. It's just like finance. You buy low and sell high. And there's a myriad of complexities, unfortunately, in the execution. So from this standpoint, it's about having all of that data about your customer, having all of that data around your stock, and being able to make the best decisions in terms of cost optimization. And that's what retailers really need to do, I think, in the context of being able to announce their results at the beginning of a financial year, is really look at their growth and their margins.
And that data, I mean, increasingly, it needs to be real time. How far do you think retailers are behind the curve in actually implementing real time data solutions?
This is a very good question in that context. Retailers typically have 20 or 25 years of legacy systems across their organizations, ranging from warehouse systems to order management to EPOS systems. And there's a priority to the change of those systems, and there's a significant investment. Most retailers couldn't afford to wipe out their existing systems and put in new systems really to support some form of new IoT or e-commerce. So the IoT vendors and the sort of e-commerce vendors that will be most successful will be the companies that really take into account some of the constraints that retailers have and use the information that is there at an optimized position. That said, if we move into some of the areas, to have a single view of a customer, when a customer comes up to a point of sale or comes up to an assistant in a store, they want to be able to take out their smart device and have a full history of the client's purchase and understand who they are. So a lot of that data needs to be provided in real time, but it can be accumulated sort of in the back office.
And Aarthi, is that a trend you're seeing across the US? So from a Retail Week standpoint, we kind of cover UK retail, but is that kind of need for real-time data?
Absolutely. I think it's irrespective of the geography. If you have a huge retail in-store presence, I think it makes sense to invest in real-time systems. One part was what Mark just covered, which is inventory and backstore to front store. But another aspect is when you're in the store, finding patterns of traffic movement, flow management. How are people moving from one aisle to the other? Are they lost? Are they looking for specific items? How do you brand specific products or advertise contextually based on what customers are looking for? Once they've picked an item, how do you upsell specific things within the store? And all of this needs to happen near real time, where you're there, you want to shop, you get a few other things to go that's upsold to you, and then you check out and it's very seamless. You don't even realize how much real-time systems implementations go into this. What kind of data gets crunched on the spot right there for you to pick these set of products? Why do you buy what you buy in that particular context in that store? I think that's the part where there's a lot of innovation that's going to happen, and the winner is going to be the company or the set of stores that are willing to invest in that side of data of things.
I mean, you mentioned invest there. So a lot of the e-commerce directors we talk to, there's so many IoT techs out there. it's trying to find which one is the most relevant for their business in a world where tech is changing so fast.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give to those kind of e-com directors, heads of digital that are struggling to find the most relevant tech for their business?
I think there are some concepts that are now foundational. Being able to understand inventory management, providing convenience or better customer service, loyalty programs, things like that are now baseline. They're no longer the newest innovative things to go invest in. I mean, that's something that if you are thinking of doing a retail store or if you are involved in retail in any form, you need to start looking at these. Like those are foundational. And then you have additional layers of complexity, which depends on how much resources you have, what is at stake for you. Does it move the needle by a lot for you with respect to revenue and margins, or is this something that's nice to have and you still have to A/B test a few solutions? And those could be everything from in-store contextualized ads that show up. Don't know if it exactly works for you, but when your test, if it works and it's worthwhile investing, then you have to go figure it out. So there is no one solution, one size fits all for all retail suppliers. I think it changes based on who you are, what kind of organization, what type of retail presence, online to offline. Is it more about you're an inventory heavy company and you're trying to optimize that, or you're less focused on inventory and more on the front end physical retail payments, that kind of thing. And so there are some that are baseline, and everything else depends on who you are.
I think in echoing what Aarthi said is that it really depends on where the retailer is in their journey. But from our experience with our customers, the customers who have outstanding growth in their businesses are retailers who focus on customer service and that absolute excellence around customer service. So anything that provides data, it provides ease of use or outstanding customer service, and whether that be in logistics, in delivery, or having stock in store. I'll give you an sort of reference example. I recently ordered something from a significant brand online. They took the order. 2 days later, I got an email saying they were out of stock. And I guess this is our business. So in pushing the example, I sent an email back saying, this is a very poor customer service, impacts your brand, it impacts your business and the efficiency. You should really know what stock you have before you sell the item online. And I got an email back saying, well, we've just found out there's one of these items in Westfield, which is the other side of London, and you can go and pick it up there. So that journey is completely different from the journey where you go into a retailer or you order online. They understand who you are and they meet your expectation in terms of delivering next day, same day, whatever expectation has been set, and the basics are done very well. The second thing is around security. IoT has been in the news. I think recently there was a television manufacturer who was recording details and passing it on. So security will become the killer. So customer service, outstanding element of growth and anything relating to that. So payment, information, data, analytics will be the key drivers.
Okay. On that point, kind of 3 minutes left. What do you see in the next kind of 3 or 4, 5 years, the most exciting areas of IoT from a retail standpoint?
I think one thing, I work at Lumoid, which is a try before you buy service for consumer electronics. One thing that customers contact us a lot about is discovery of new items, new products that are coming up, new products that are available for pre-order, things like that. And I think IoT will play a huge role in that aspect of things, discovering new products that you haven't already seen, you've read about it maybe, or you've seen a review, but you want to be able to actually get it, try it out, test it out. finding new brands, discovery of products, as well as the convenience aspect of it. That's the part, like convenience in the sense, in-store optimizations, payments, and being able to improve upon the payment experience. I think there's a lot of room to grow there. Those are the aspects. For me, those are the aspects that I'm really excited about, where driving value to the consumer, that's what's going to distinguish you from other retailers, other companies that are competing on the same set of products.
Help yourself, Mark.
I think it's such a myriad of technologies out there, and it's a very exciting time, I think, for retailers. The basics, I think, will be payment and big advances in payment. I think there'll be other aspects of customer recognition. Facial recognition technologies are becoming commoditized and cheap. Picking up a customer when they come into the store is going to be a lot easier than using a beacon, I think, going forward in the future. So I think there are many aspects, and they need to be picked, I guess, from a business perspective. And in terms of that, I think the elements around payment, combined with facial recognition, I think will have the biggest impact going forward.
I mean, a point we talked about earlier was kind of contactless, and do you think contactless and its kind of evolution has almost act as a block or a mobile payment currently?
No, I think it'll be the driver, just practically going into fast food outlets and being able to tap. I use that all the time, and you don't even think about it. So any evolution of that aspect in a store, going in, looking at stock, the biggest issue, I think, of any consumer going into a store is going in, finding the product, and it's not in stock after spending 10 minutes looking. So if you can go in, use whatever device, whether it's a smartphone, tap, see, in stock, yes, no. It'll either back order it or you can walk out. So I think that contactless element will be quite key.
Okay, perfect. That's a good note to end on. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.